Hey, hanging with Deez. Week 14 coming up. I'm your host, Deez. Of course, with me as always, not as always, but when we do this, Bubba J. And yeah, lots to talk about. We're going to talk about the college football playoff situation and what a situation it became.
You mean the
Also,
train wreck that is the CFP?
yeah, pretty much. Probably have to dabble a little bit more about the Steelers. I know I went on a big rant on Monday, but we'll rehash that fucking pain. And of course, we will do our Week 14 picks and go from there. So, well, let's just start off with the biggest news of the weekend, and that was the college football situation.
Yeah.
We had some chaos, not quite the amount of chaos that I would have liked to have seen. Damn sure did not go the way I was thinking it was going to go.
Right.
But of course, as we all should know by now, it is set. We have Michigan taking on Alabama, and then we have Washington taking on fuck. I just went completely Texas. Fuck, I went brain dead. Wow.
I wasn't going to tell you either. I was just going to let you struggle.
Yeah. So
Washington versus Texas in the Sugar Bowl at 8:30 on January 1st, and Michigan and Bama 5 p.m. on January 1st.
with worst draw that Michigan could have drawn.
Sure. But
my cousin Dylan, former co-host of this show, is not happy about that, but is what it is. I'm rooting hard for Michigan on that one. I was kind of surprised that Washington handled Oregon
very
as well as they did.
Right.
I didn't feel that the game was quite as close as the score indicated for the most part. Oregon did hang tough and made it interesting there towards the end, but it felt to me like Washington was in control for most.
Yeah, and that last touchdown by Oregon was like in 27 seconds after getting the kickoff. I mean, it was the game really wasn't as close as it looked at the end for sure.
And then obviously Alabama upset Georgia. Texas boat raced Oklahoma State, and Florida State did their job and they beat Louisville. They didn't look good doing it, but you're basically on your third string quarterback. All of that being said, there have been a lot of discussions and internet fights and everything over who got in, who didn't get in. And the biggest gripe, obviously, is with Florida State.
Sure.
It's undefeated Power 5 conference, regardless of whether or not they are healthy. I think they should have got in.
100%. They couldn't have the last foursome not have an SEC team in it.
And then at the same time, you can still make an argument for Georgia as well, from 1 to out. This is a two-time defending.
1 to 6. They even put them below Florida State. So that tells you they're saying Florida State is a worse team than Georgia. Georgia went 29-0. The last team to beat Georgia was Alabama.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is they're a one-loss team just like everybody else except Michigan. And if you would match them up against any of those teams, they would be the odds-on favorite to win.
Right.
You can't tell me that Georgia is not one of the 4 best teams in the nation.
Georgia is probably the second best team in the country behind Michigan.
Yeah.
I said it last week. If they lose to Bama, at the very most, they drop to number 2.
Yeah.
Florida State. I know they don't want a TCU experience like they had last year. And they let a deserving team in last year and they got blown the fuck out in the national championship. I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
But sure, okay, Florida State don't make it. But Georgia fucking does.
But TCU beat Michigan in that playoff. Yeah, they
Well,
got blown out, but they earned
sure.
their spot in the national title game.
And so did Georgia.
I agree.
100%. You want to?
If
We can make an argument for not putting Florida State in. You can.
Yeah.
Alabama, Georgia, Michigan, Washington. No one would have batted an eye about it. Okay, we understand. Florida State, third string quarterback. We get it. Bama's really good. They beat Georgia. Only team to beat Georgia in the last 2-3 years. I get it. But to leave Georgia out completely?
They had to put at least one SEC team in, and
Mhm.
they didn't want to face the backlash of putting Georgia in still over Alabama.
After they just got beat, right.
Yeah, and Texas has to get in for the simple fact that they beat Alabama, and they looked really good in their game. But of course,
if you
they
let
played the
Alabama
number
in, you have to let
18
Texas in.
team.
Right.
FSU scheduled 2 non-conference Power 5 games on the road,
Right.
top-ranked teams on the road, and won.
Yeah.
For me personally, if you're going to knock Georgia out completely, if that's your mindset that they got to go, then it should have been Michigan, Washington, Texas, Florida State, or actually Florida State ahead of Texas.
Sure.
But no way in hell are they going to not have an SEC team in the playoff. And yeah, it's.
Well, I mean, at this point, why not put JMU in? They went 11-1. They played a D1 schedule.
Well, I don't mean a D1. I mean you know what I'm saying? They played.
I get it, but I mean, what are they smoking? I mean, where's that committee at? I mean, are they in the deep fucking trees of Columbia? I mean, I know what it's about, but that doesn't make any of us who watch it and funnel all that fucking money to them, aren't pissed off about it.
Yeah, and it justifies what they're doing next year.
Yeah,
with going to 12 teams. The only difference is next year we're going to be having these arguments about numbers 12, 13, and 14.
Right. Well, and my
teams that are going to get absolutely blown the fuck out. You know what I mean?
And my post on Facebook, they showed the 12 what if 12 picture, the 12 team picture. It would have Michigan, Washington, Bama, and Texas getting a bye. Right, they're in the semifinals. You have Oregon playing Missouri, Penn State playing Ohio State, Georgia playing Ole Miss, and Florida State playing Liberty.
Yeah, Liberty was 12.
Liberty. So Georgia beats Ole Miss 100%.
Yeah.
Texas, Georgia. I got Georgia winning that game.
I do too.
Going to the championship game. Then you got Oregon and Missouri. Who cares? They're going to get beat by Michigan. Okay.
I would pick Oregon.
Right. Oregon against Michigan. Michigan wins. Florida State and Liberty. Florida State. Florida State and Alabama. Again, who cares, but probably Bama. Okay.
Oh, I think given the quarterback situation, Alabama would boat race Florida State.
Sure. So now you got Bama, Georgia, Michigan, and then Penn State and Ohio State. Ohio State wins that game. Ohio State and Washington. That one's the only one that might change. I think Ohio State might actually beat Washington. But even if they don't, you still got Michigan beating whoever's over on the other side, and you still got, in my opinion, Georgia not losing again to Bama in the same season. And you got Georgia and Michigan in the championship game.
It's hard to argue.
It doesn't matter how you look at it. Georgia should have been there. It's bullshit. It's unforgivable. Was the quote used all week?
Yeah, I was shocked too. I thought if anything, like maybe they would. I kind of had a feeling they were going to fuck Florida State. I thought they were going to try and put Alabama and Georgia both in.
I knew they were going to fuck Florida State. I really did. But to fuck them both, and to have Texas and Bama in, and they had, like you said, they had to let Texas in because he beat Bama.
Yeah.
But bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
Yep.
Texas deserves to be in there with Georgia over Bama if you're going to do it that way.
No, I agree. And it's not like Bama blew out Georgia.
No.
It was 3-point game, tight game. But and, back to the Florida State argument, I keep going to the NFL. What were to happen? I mean, especially this year, if you look around the NFL, all these quarterbacks dropping. Okay, Jacksonville, they're leading their division. Let's say they hang on and win their division, and it comes playoff time. What if the NFL came out and said, "Well, Trevor Lawrence, although he's not, but let's just say Trevor Lawrence is lost for the season, so we're gonna bump you for Houston, who
Right.
was the last team out."
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
it's
not
like
going to be in no more.
right. You play with what you got, and I feel that they earned a spot.
They did, and they still won with whoever they put in there. That's good coaching. That's good discipline. That's good play calling. That's good players. 100% deserving. But I knew they were going to fuck them out of it. I knew they did. I knew they were.
So, of those four, who's your pick?
Michigan.
Do you think Michigan's going to beat Bama?
Yep.
I hope so.
And I hope they fucking boat race them, like you say. I hope they just fuck them up.
Yeah, no, I do too.
Just to prove that they did not belong here. You wanted to avoid a TCU situation last year? Well, guess what?
And it seems like the committee completely forgot that Alabama, for all intents and purposes, fucking lost to Auburn. All right. If not for a goddamn miracle, they lose that game. But anyway, we don't have to deal with it anymore. That shit's over. We go to a 12 game for a little while until that becomes not enough money and they go to 16. And next, before it's all said and done, we're going to have a goddamn madness tournament with 64 fucking teams in the playoffs.
Right.
It's going to be a 8-game season and then a 64 team field. So, all right. Anyway, just real quick, we'll rehash last week and check our picks out. I was not so hot this week.
No, we actually flip-flop luck this week.
Yeah, after smoking last week, I come out with a measly 5-8, and Bubba J was 8-5. I was close though on my Panthers.
You were
new coach thing. They played tough, but they just couldn't do it. Nope. Steelers.
We'll get to
that. Yeah. Titans almost pulled it out, but their defense is trash. Chargers, a measly 6 points on the Patriots, but they get the win. Wait, why is that not highlighted?
I don't know. What'd you do? I got it.
It was highlighted. Now I got to 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait a minute. This changes everything.
It changes one thing.
Did I fuck up?
You went to 6 and 8, and I went to 9 and 5.
3, 4, 5. Yeah. Hey, woohoo. That's wrong. I am 121 and 69. I'm going to change this here. 120. How did I miss that? And 69. And you're what? 9 and
1, 2,
9
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I missed 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right.
So you were 6 and.
So it's still an 8-game difference.
You were 6 and 7.
Yeah, you still gained the 3.
Yep.
Still not 500, which is not good. Let me look over these. Falcons Jets was abysmal.
Yeah,
Tim Boyle has been not just benched but cut, and now they are naming Zach Wilson the starter yet again. Broncos came real close, but Russ was a little off his game, and Texans get the win there. Like I said, Panthers almost pulled one out against the Bucs. The Browns got destroyed by the Rams with Joe Flacco, who has already been
reverted back to the practice squad.
And the 49ers just destroy the Eagles.
Pummeled them. It was, and a lot of that game was, for one, the Niners are healthy. They have all their weapons. Purdy's playing good ball. They added those, at the trade deadline, added the defense. They're now fully ingrained in the game plan. And the Eagles had 3 games in 13 days or something like that.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it was? They're tired, man.
Oh,
and
yeah.
now they gotta go play another. Was it? Oh, what time is that game against the? Then they got to play the Cowboys, which that's not a easy game for them.
No, not at all.
Night. They play Sunday night, so they don't even get their full week. I mean, they miss a day, but I mean, they only get their full week of recovery then. And Jalen Hurts got beat up in that game. Swift took a couple shots. Whoo, boy, did he! That was awesome.
That one hit, I thought he wasn't getting up. Yeah.
It was one of the cleanest non-wrap up tackles I've seen. That is exactly how they want those defensive backs to play. That was textbook. Yeah, so it's gonna be tough. I mean, we'll say it now. I got Dallas over Philly for that reason. Dallas is playing really well.
That's in Dallas too, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. And they're undefeated for the last 13 or 14 games at home. They're tired, man.
Yeah.
Philly's tired. And now, if let's say Dallas does win, let's just put an asterisk on that game. Everybody else will. All the haters will. Oh, but fuck you and your well butts. Dallas wins. A win's a win, right? They're professional.
Oh, yeah.
I hope they fucking dog stomp them.
and then Sunday night, Jordan Love outplays Patrick Mahomes. Packers look like they're all the way back, and with the Vikings kind of struggling right now. Granted, the Lions look like they bounced back and maybe they're back, but still, Packers are threatening to move into second there. Jordan Love just continues to grow and look like he's going to be a guy.
Yeah, making plays.
And Tay was in the house, so the magic is apparently gone with her.
Yeah.
And then the second thing that pissed me off the most this week, shy of the Steeler game, which was what fucking John, Josh, Jeff, whatever the fuck his name is, Browning, was able to do against that Jaguars defense.
He looked like an NFL quarterback, man.
He looked like fucking Joe Burrow. I mean, let's be honest. He looked awesome.
Some of those throws were like he'd been throwing to them guys for years.
And you can't even say anything about it. Well, Trevor got hurt. Trevor didn't get hurt till late, very late in that game. The Bengals just hung with him.
Yeah, the Bengals defense was good. They were strong. They were getting pressure. And
I don't know that I would go as far as
doesn't do good on pressure.
Yeah, I don't know if I would go as far as to say they saved their season because they still have some work to do, but they at least aren't dead.
No. But far from it. The AFC is wide open. You only have 2 teams, maybe 3, I'd say 2, that are mathematically and physically completely out. And that's the Patriots and the Titans.
Yeah.
The Jets still have a shot. The Raiders, probably not, but they might. Chargers are still in it. Bills 6-6, Bengals 6-6, Denver 6-6.
If I'm a starting quarterback in the NFL this year, I am fearing for my life.
Oh, 100%.
It's not been good for quarterbacks this year.
No,
but I think they said this week there's going to be, I believe, 12 backup quarterbacks starting.
Yeah, it was like an NFL record or some shit.
Yeah. And it's not a good year to be a quarterback.
But I mean, your Steelers are still number 5 overall in the playoff picture.
Yeah,
they win the tiebreaker over Indy based on the best win percentage.
We lay an absolute egg and yet we're still sitting there at 7-5 and the top wild card, which just is absolutely
Yeah.
baffling to me.
And you look back at the games that you won that you probably shouldn't have, and you're thinking, oh, thank goodness, because one or two of them games goes the wrong way, you're completely out of it.
Eh, We're out of it anyway. I mean, look, I'm a fan and I'll never root against them, but at the same, like I was on here for an hour on Monday night talking about it. This isn't a playoff caliber team. The locker room is in absolute shambles.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Tomlin's lost it. I think he's
There
lost
was
the
some.
team.
They were calling for his job after last week.
I'm calling for his job after last week. And if they don't put on a strong performance, at least stronger performance, or God forbid, and I'm not ruling this out, they lose. You think it was loud this week, you are going to see hellfire and brimstone across Steelers social media calling for his head. And
Yeah.
Ed Bouchette, famous writer for Pittsburgh for a very long time, brought up a good point, and I talked about this on Monday too. There's going to be, by I believe Adam Schefter's guesstimation, 7 to 10 head coaching jobs available.
I wouldn't doubt it.
If Mike Tomlin is available, how many of those 7 to 10 teams are going to want him?
All of them.
Right. Trade him.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing now.
Yeah, I would absolutely trade him for a first round pick, because if you're one of those struggling teams, I think you might give up a first round. Maybe not necessarily this year, who knows, but before I would, call him in the office and mutually agree to part ways, because I think that's how it's going to go down. I don't think that it's going to come out that Rooney fired him. It's going to be, I've been here a long time. There's philosophical differences.
Right.
We're mutually agreeing to part ways, but I don't see why you don't at least try and, call some teams like, hey, he's under contract this coming year. We're willing to, take offers. What do you got? And if there are no offers, well, then you do what you got to do. But I think it's time. I keep seeing everybody arguing with each other, whether it's Facebook or Twitter or whatever, about, he's never had a losing season. But who gives a fuck?
Right.
This isn't Pittsburgh Steeler football. All right. He's 8, I believe 8 and 9 in the postseason. They always say the standard is the standard. Well, the standard isn't fucking going 9 and 8 every year. And it just isn't.
Right.
It's, the only coach that has won 2 Super Bowls or more, that has gone longer from their first to their second win, is Bill Belichick. But he also had 4 or 5 in that span, and then he had a long break before he won number 6.
Right.
But once according to the statistics, if you don't nail down that second Super Bowl within 5 or 6 years, it doesn't happen for you. And eventually there comes a time that you need to change. He's been there 16 years. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He won one, and you can argue that the one that he won was with Bill Cowher's team, more or less.
Yep.
Another thing I always go back to is you look at all of these great coaches throughout the last 20, 30 years. And one thing that they all have in common is that they all have sent multiple members of their staff onto head coaching jobs.
Right.
Do you know how many Mike Tomlin hires have gone on to head coaching jobs?
I don't, but I'm going to say 1.
0.
0. That was going to be my actual first guess, but I had to give him 1.
Technically, you could say Bruce Arians, but he wasn't hired by Mike Tomlin. He was hired by Cowher, and the only difference when Tomlin took over, they promoted Arians from QB coach to offensive coordinator, and Tomlin fired him,
Right.
ran him out of town, and then
Like an
he
idiot.
went. Yeah, then he went to Indy,
Yeah.
and then from there is when he got his head coaching gig, and it's
One of the best head coaches, in my opinion, never coached the game.
Arians.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
about
think
one
he's
of the
really
best,
good.
but yeah,
One of the better,
I
one top 10.
yeah, he's up there. He's yeah, I would.
I loved him. I love the way he coached.
But it's just time. Like he says all the right things, and players talk about they love playing for him, but uh, it doesn't show on the field.
I mean, it's just
There's
hard. I know what the conversation is. It's hard to fire, and I'm going to say it's hard to fire a black coach when
there's
they're
that.
chirping
Yeah.
about not enough black coaches in the NFL. Well, he's coached for what, almost 20 years in some aspect, or at least been on the sideline of an NFL team for almost 20 years, 15, 16 at least.
Oh, as a head coach or just
as a coach.
Oh no,
in
yeah,
general.
he's over 20. He was with
Yeah.
Tampa for I think 4 or 5 years, and then he went and had 1 year as a defensive coordinator in Minnesota, and then we hired him, and he's been with us for what 17, 16 years, something like that.
Something like that, yeah. So I mean, he's got his chances. He's had his success. It's that shouldn't even be in the question or in the conversation anymore. He's just not the right fit for the.
And it's not like if they fire, like I said, if they do fire him, release him, whatever the case may be, he's not going to be unemployed for long.
Carolina and Pittsburgh should be talking right now,
or Washington, because Rivera's out. Like
probably.
He acts like he doesn't know it, but he's 100%.
Did you see Jay Gruden trolling him the other day on the X?
No.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I could find it. I should have screenshot it and sent it to you. Oh man, it was funny. I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah, there are teams out there that would bend over backwards, and then you hear the argument. Well, who are you going to get? It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. All of these hot up-and-coming coordinators that want a head coaching job would break their fucking neck to go work for an organization like Pittsburgh.
Right.
If Art Rooney would do it right, he would literally have first pick of just about any coach if you give him the right money and the right amount of control, and then Kenny's not it, man. I don't know if he's playing scared, and granted, sometimes his offensive line doesn't do him any favors, but he's got happy feet, and it got him killed.
Right.
Oh my God, they killed Kenny. No, I don't want Belichick. He's too old. I don't want it.
Yeah, here it is. So Ron Rivera, and I don't have the exact quote, but he said something along the lines of, it's going to take 4 to 5 years for a culture change to figure the culture out in Washington with Ron Rivera. And Jay Gruden tweeted, 4 to 5 years now, figured culture would have been the difference. Because that's why they went, fired Gruden, and they wanted to change the culture.
Yeah.
So Gruden, he was fired in 2019. And that'd be 4 years now, 4.5 years. But there was more to it, but that's just the first. But that I laughed way too hard at that when I saw it.
Yeah. It's time. And the last point I'll make on the coaching thing is I also see people throwing the Bill Cowher argument in there. Well, Bill Cowher was there 15 years and he only won one Super Bowl too. But you're forgetting one very key point to Bill Cowher era. he only had Big Ben for 3 years, and technically, I don't count his rookie year because he was a fucking rookie, and they played, very conservative, ran the ball, and played awesome defense. Year 2, Ben started to come into his own, so Cowher had him for 2 years as a, quote, franchise quarterback, and the second year was the year that Ben decided to ride his motorcycle into an old lady's car and missed the first, I don't know, 4 or 5 games, and then
Right.
Bill rode off into the sunset. Bill Cowher, through all the great teams that he had, yeah, he only won 1 Super Bowl. He went to 5 or 6 AFC title games, lost 3 or 4 of them at home. But he was also dealing with guys like Mike Tomczak, Kent Graham, Cordell Stewart, Neil O'Donnell, Bubby Brister. Like, could you imagine if Bill Cowher started his career with fucking the way that with the team that Mike Tomlin started with?
Oh yeah.
And do you think Bill Cowher's only getting 1 Super Bowl out of that?
Not at all.
Nobody in this world will ever fucking convince me that that's all he would have ended up with.
No, I don't think he'd be a dynasty, but
no, but he would have got more than
they'd
1.
have 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
In my opinion, I've never seen a coach in my lifetime do less with more than Mike Tomlin, as far as the level of talent he has had for his tenure.
Yeah,
how do you not?
It's almost like he hasn't coached. Like he's just let the talent win the games based off their already acquired knowledge.
Like, how do you not win a fucking Super Bowl when you have Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, Martavis Bryant? Like, I know our defense wasn't what like the 2008, 2010 Steelers.
No, but that was,
it was still solid.
Yeah, that was still the Shazier. Shazier, is that how you say his last name?
Ryan Shazier, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean,
Cam Hayward was there, and Polamalu was there for a good part of that time. Yeah. They were good enough to win a fucking Super Bowl. But instead, they're losing in the first round to fucking Tim Tebow, or they're losing to Jacksonville, to Blake fucking Bortles, for fuck's sake.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're right.
I appreciate everything that Mike Tomlin has done for this team. No losing season's great, but I'm tired of hanging my hat on, we were 500 or better.
Right.
Fuck that.
Yeah. But 1 game over 500 to winning season, but it's still not a playoff berth in most divisions.
Hasn't won a playoff game since 2016.
Yep.
Unacceptable. I'm sorry. If you're priding yourself on being the
man,
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Get on my bus, man. Look at all the talent Dallas has had in the last 30 years, and they haven't won a fucking Super Bowl again. They've won, 5 playoff games? Get on, bud. Come on, we're drunk as fuck on here.
No, that's the point. I don't want to get on that bus.
The talent we've had over the last 20 years has been ridiculous.
Yeah. We're not on that bus yet, but we're sitting on the bus stop waiting for it.
You're walking to the bus stop.
It's getting real fucking close.
Fucking sure. Yep. It's happening.
See, now you're just getting me all pissed off all over again.
Well, hell, I've had decades to get used to it.
Yes, Jake, we actually did that. Yep, you'll have to go back and watch the first 15 minutes or so. That's when we talked about that and how Georgia and Florida State got raped with no lube. So, let's see. We already talked about Joe Flacco getting demoted already to the practice squad. Zach Wilson is once again the starter for the Jets. So what?
Yeah.
Did you see? Is Mike going to coach this week?
I don't know.
I just saw he had surgery for appendicitis.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not, it's not that much, that big of a surgery. But of course, I don't really know how long the recovery is exactly. If he'd be able to stand on the sideline and coach a game, I wouldn't see why not. but I could
Hey,
see.
if fucking Dwight Schrute can come and make a presentation mere hours after having his removed,
Sure,
Big Mike can
like,
have his ass on the
like I
sideline.
said, I don't see why he can't, but I wouldn't
Put his fat
cry
ass in a
about it if he wasn't
wheelchair
there.
and stick him out
But
there.
if we weren't playing Philly, I would say
Probably not. Yeah.
he probably wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
But this is our season right here. I
Pretty
mean, we're
much.
probably
Yeah.
still going to make a wild card, most likely. But this is like, you win this game. I mean, you got a chance to win the division.
I agree.
So he better.
All right. All right. Well, let's get into this here. While I'm already all fucking foaming at the mouth and pissed off, let's just lead it off.
Well, it is a Thursday game.
As we should with
Because
Thursday night football.
I'm the stat guy all of a sudden. So
how fucking sad is it that on the graphic for the game that they put out every week, you got the Steelers and TJ Watt, and you have the Patriots and Bill Belichick.
Well, who else are you going to put up there? Juju?
I'm so sad for him, man. I mean, cool, he's getting paid, but he's a better receiver than that.
Way better.
Like, he's just wasting away, and I think, didn't he sign up? It's either a 3 or a 4-year deal. I don't think he'll see all that. I think they'll absolutely clean house, and Juju will probably be one of those cuts. But man, I feel bad for him because he's
way too good.
For my money, I think he could be a number 2 on a lot of good teams out there.
He could be a number 1 in places. Send him to Green Bay. Send him to Arizona. Send him to Cleveland.
The over under started at 29.5 and it sits right now at 30.5, and it is the lowest over under in the history of prime time football games. 30
I'm
and
taking
a half
the under.
For I am too. I'm fucking hammering the under.
Yeah, and here's my stat. We're gonna fucking segue right into this damn thing. I know you've seen it, and I hope you've seen it. There's one team in the NFL in the last 3 games that's allowed under 10 points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Who
the
is
Patriots.
It? And what's their record?
0-3.
0-3. I love that shit. That's awesome. They've allowed 8.7 points on average over the last 3 games, and they're 0-3.
Yeah, they allowed 6 points to the Chargers, who have been just lighting up scoreboards.
Right.
And we're coming in with Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and you know what?
I made fun of the meme that I saw literally for the first time probably 3 weeks ago, and now it's circulating again because it's time. But yeah, this game will set offense back 50 years.
It will.
It's just
you're going to run the football. You're going to throw some quick slants, some bubble screens, halfback screens. You might see some stupid shit like a double reverse or the Philly special.
See, that's where you're wrong. We are going to run the football because that's the only thing that seems to be working.
I forgot. I forgot. Pittsburgh's not creative with their fucking play calling.
No, they're not. But if there's one thing I will give Mitch Trubisky credit for is he will take shots. Yeah. Sometimes there's shots that he shouldn't take, but he will fucking throw the ball down the field.
He looks like he takes shots on the sideline the way he throws the ball sometimes.
Yeah. He's gonna test them. He's probably gonna end up throwing 2 or 3 picks, but he's gonna fucking try.
Jacob's got a great point. They flexed the Kansas City game. Was it? I think it's in a week or 2. They flexed it off Monday night.
I can answer that question.
Why didn't they get flexed?
Yes. Look at the fan bases for these 2 teams, regardless of how shitty they are. Look at the fan bases.
Oh yeah, it's going to be
clicks.
It's going to get the views for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's going to get a lot of views because of the shit show it's going to be.
That too, but they looked at that on the schedule and thought there's no fucking chance we're flexing this game out on prime time because these are two diehard fan bases that are going to watch.
Right.
We're all going to be pissed off while we're watching and probably shooting heroin just so that we can get through it. But we're going to watch. It is what it is, and I'm going to be in pain while I watch it. I'm sure. Um, our offensive line, which is pretty much ass anyway, is banged up. Mason Cole, who, for my money, they can't cut him soon enough. He has been the weakest link, and man, I thought he's still not as bad as Kendrick Green was when he was with us, but still, it's been really, really bad. And from the outside or from the inside out, it just Broderick Jones struggled a little bit. Just a bad game for pass coverage or pass protection. The running game was working. I don't know why we didn't stick to that a little bit more, especially while the game was still close in the first half before before Kenny got hurt. But yeah, this isn't the Cardinal defense that we're going up against. This is, for say what you want about the Patriots and how bad their offense is, their defense is obviously very stout, and
The
we are
Patriots
going to
very well might win this game 9-3. 9-6. 12-3.
Yeah, I'll be shocked if it clears 20
12-5.
points.
Fuck, give Pittsburgh a safety. I mean, it's gonna be weird.
And on paper, TJ Watt should have 7 or 8 sacks.
3-0.
I won't be surprised. I really won't. Like
3-2.
you said,
3-2. Be a baseball score.
I can't do it. I can't. I don't care if Mitch Trubisky's great grandfather was named the starting quarterback. I cannot, in good faith, pick the Patriots in this game. Their offense, as unbelievable as it is still worse than ours. And I think we are going to luck into a touchdown, maybe a defensive score or something. And I think that's all it's going to take. I see again, I'm with you. I think it's going to be like 10-6 or 12-6, 12-9, something stupid. Probably won't crack 20 total points, but I am going to pick Pittsburgh just because, again, I can't pick New England against Pittsburgh ever, even though history shows that Belichick owns Mike Tomlin. I think he's 3-9.
Yeah, I'm picking the Patriots.
I can't say I blame you. I really can't.
It's there are lots of reasons. One, just because, this is my one final chance I get to say, this is actually a game that I probably, I might win this one in the pick'em. I can finally say this is a game that is up in the air enough where I could, sure, I'll go against the Steelers. After 4 weeks ago, I said I would never pick them again. But it's the script will tell you they're not going to let the Patriots go 2-15. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, but Belichick, it's all but confirmed that Belichick's probably leaving.
Oh yeah, but he's still a coach. He's still
not in a very, very long time. Although the Steelers and Dolphins almost did that. They won 3-0 in overtime when there was like a fucking hurricane. It might have been Ben's. I think it was actually Ben's first start. Pittsburgh beat Miami in Miami. The game had to be moved to Saturday because of a hurricane, and it was still shitty weather. And I think Pittsburgh won 3-0 in overtime.
No, Ben's first game was lost to the Ravens 30-13.
He didn't start that game. That's the game Tommy Maddox got hurt.
Oh, okay.
Started the next week against Miami.
Start.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the game Tommy blew his elbow out. Maybe it was 7-6. I know they played Miami and won 3-0 at one point. I can't remember if it was his first start or if it was maybe in Pittsburgh when it was so
Big Ben's
rainy
first
and
start,
wet.
Steelers versus Dolphins in 2004.
The field was so wet they had just sodded it, and then they got like 6 inches of rain that on a punt the ball landed in the fucking grass and stuck. Didn't bounce. It literally dropped like 6 inches into the fucking mud and did not move. And that game ended 3-0.
I think I remember. I'm looking at pictures of this. I remember this game.
Ben's first start?
Yeah.
Or the one I'm talking about?
Ben's first start against Miami.
Was that one 3-0 or was it?
In the fourth quarter with 6 minutes to go, it was 6-3 Pittsburgh.
Okay, and that's still Pittsburgh won it because Ben didn't lose in the regular season as starter. So then there was another time in Pittsburgh that they won
13-3 was the final score.
Okay, yeah, there was another time, like I said, 3-0 because the field was so bad. I mean, everybody they had like inch long cleats and it didn't help. Nobody could fucking move the ball. But we might be seeing something like that, even though the weather's going to be nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, with stress in my heart, I'm taking Pittsburgh. I think I have to.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting scenario that I've seen brought up, and I kind of hope it happens. I hope Mitch comes in and just lights it up for the next 3 or 4 weeks. Because then it'll force their hand. But not lights it up so much that Pittsburgh does something stupid and signs him to an extension. Just lights it up enough to know that we need to move on.
They're not owned by Jerry Jones. But I mean, Mitch could. I mean, he's sat back and he's watched Kenny's mistakes. You damn well know he's watched all the news. He's watched all the tweets, everything. He knows that he might watch this. We're not throwing in the middle of the field. You got to use Pickens more. You got all the other shit we've said.
Yes, Jake, he was 15. He was 15-0 his rookie year and lost the AFC title game to the fucking cheating Patriots. That was one of the Spygate years, but yeah, like here's the one glimmer of hope I hang on to is that this is Mitch coming in with not a full week because it's a short week, but at least he is game planned as the starter as opposed to having to come in for the 5th time to start because Kenny got knocked out of the game. So maybe he can come in and find a rhythm. That's the only bit of fucking.
It's either going to be really close and come down to a last second or overtime field goal, or Pittsburgh and only Pittsburgh is going to rout him.
I don't see that happening.
It's only going to go one of two ways. It's going to go like that because Patriots aren't going to do that.
No.
They're going to put 30.
Well, unless Mitch throws 3 or 4 picks and that's on the table.
But Pittsburgh could very well put up 30. Pickens is always open, he says. Jay, that tandem in the backfield is very good.
Only way they're sniffing 30 is if we get 2 defensive touchdowns. Don't get me wrong. I will probably masturbate if that happens, but it's not going to happen.
You're probably going to anyway, but just not to the game.
Yeah. But look, Kenny's a good kid, and I think he could be a good leader. I'm not seeing it. And it's such a volatile situation with Steeler fans because you got the diehards that live in Pittsburgh that are Pitt fans that are defending him tooth and nail and saying,
Sure.
"Oh, it's the coaching, it's the coaching." No, yeah, I mean, some of it probably is the coaching, but
Not all of it.
just like mechanics and everything else that you see with your eyes, like it just doesn't look like he's got the it factor of being
Right.
a friend. I could see Kenny going on to be a marginal starter, but likely solid backup who might bounce around and get a starting gig here and there, kind
Sam
of like
Bradford.
out of like a Bradford or a Mitch Trubisky or even I might even go as far as say a Ryan Tannehill who will show you flashes every now and then, but
Yep.
he's not the guy that you want to hang your hat on, but he's the guy that can, get you through some games if you put a good enough team around, you know. Geno Smith, that's a good example as
A
well.
plus example for sure.
Yeah. So, all right, we've depressed me enough. Let's move on. Sunday, Buccaneers, Falcons. Atlanta 1.5 point favorites. Uh, give me the Falcons at home.
All right. I'm gonna take the
I
Bucks.
think they played down to Carolina, and Carolina was playing up because new coach type thing. But I like what Atlanta's doing. They're actually using Bijan like they
Finally.
should be, and divisional game. It's at home, so I'm gonna give the Falcons the edge there.
I'm gonna take the Buccaneers.
Lions in Chicago, 3.5 point favorites. I think the Lions are back. Give me the
I
Lions.
hope so. They better be. This is a game that they need to win. Two, they should win by a lot.
Yeah. Colts Bengals. Suddenly, this game is interesting. Colts are 1 point favorites on the road in Cincinnati. Colts showed a lot of fucking moxie in that win against
Both teams coming off
Tennessee.
huge wins.
I can't. I don't
Does he
think
do it
John
twice?
Browning's going to have the kind of game. Yeah,
Does he do it twice?
no, I don't think so. Give me the Colts.
Yeah, I think you're right. Though, if we lose this one, I'm not going to be upset about it.
I mean, as a Steeler fan, hold on, threw up in my mouth a little bit. I need the Bengals to win.
Well, yeah. I mean,
but again, if we take care of our own business, we don't have to worry about that shit anyway, and we don't deserve to be in the playoffs. So, yeah, give me the Colts. Then we got the Jaguars taking on the Browns, who I guess they're going back to DTR.
yeah, who knows? I think they got a staffer they're putting in. I think they suited him up. They gave him just a 1-bar helmet. So it'd be interesting to see.
Trevor Lawrence hasn't been ruled out, but man, the way he was walking. And look, I know he came out and said that he refused it, but you're the franchise quarterback. Get the motherfucker a cart.
No shit. You don't get a choice in that at that
Yeah,
point.
cool, Trevor. You're tough, but you are a fucking franchise quarterback who's set to make more money than you can count. Sit your ass on this golf cart and ride to the locker room instead of taking 45 minutes to take 6-inch steps at a time. Like,
Right.
come on. Somebody needs to step up and be like, no, you get your ass on the cart.
Yeah. He did say this afternoon, he's thankful that it isn't worse than he thought. And he does actually feel a lot better and he's in a lot less pain than he was when it happened. So, but I
Yes.
see him. He's missing a couple weeks probably.
Yeah, as much as it pains me to say it, I don't think he's going to play. And I don't know that I would want him to play, especially if Myles Garrett is. I know he's got that shoulder thing, and who knows what they're going to shoot him up with. But I think the Browns are going to win here because I don't have much faith in CJ Beathard if he's got to go for the Jags.
Yeah, I don't either. I would have picked the Jags for sure if Trevor was playing.
Oh yeah.
But the Browns just got too
Cle-
good of a defense for a backup to go in and win that game on the road.
Breaking news:
Uh-oh.
the line for that is actually the same. The over under is actually the same now as Pittsburgh.
Oh,
30 and a half. Because Pittsburgh, New England opened at 29 and a half and it has since moved to 30 and a half. The 29 and a half was the record breaker, but yeah, Cleveland's actually 3-point favorites here, and that's probably what they're going to win by.
yeah.
I'm seeing like a 16-13 type game with that one. Panthers Saints. Yeah, they had their chance with new coach, and although, well, Jameis did come in and looked solid. I just, man, is this the one? Is this the
Saints.
second
The
win?
Saints are a shit show.
Give me the Panthers.
I was just gonna say, you want me to pick first?
This is the one that they win for the
This
new
is the
coach.
one they win. Oh God, this is the one they win, and I hope they do because all my Saints.
If they don't get this one, I don't know that they'll get
all
one.
my Saint fans buddies that hate the Cowboys and fuck, they talk about the Cowboys more than I do because I hate them so much. You know, oh God, let Carolina win this game, please. If you, I don't want a thing for Christmas, not one thing, but this. Let Carolina.
They got the
be
Saints, the Falcons, the Packers, the Jags, and the Bucks. I think this is the one that they got to win if they're going to win again this year.
Yep.
Then we got the
Don't
Texans taking
take us to
what?
Vegas with that.
No.
No. But if they're gonna win one,
Don't take us to Vegas with anything that we say on here.
No,
Texans taking on the Jets in New York. Yeah. Zach Wilson, Owen Wilson, doesn't matter.
No.
Give me the Texans.
Yep, 100%.
Rams, Ravens. Baltimore 7-point favorite. You know,
Say it.
Rams looked really good last week. Ravens.
You can't. You can't. Yeah.
Tried talking myself into it, but yeah, give me the Ravens. Fucking assholes.
For sure. Though I think I'm going to try to watch that game. I think it'll be a good one.
Then we got the Vikings Raiders. Looks like Josh Dobbs has been named the starter again after struggling in their last game. Raiders are one of those. Who the fuck knows?
Yep.
Give me. I think the Vikings are going to bounce back here.
Yeah, I was going to go with the Vikings. They now again, that was a terrible. Did Jefferson play last week, or was that this week? He's coming back.
He'll be back this week.
This week, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Give me Minnesota.
Then we got the Seahawks and the 49ers. 49ers.
Oh, yeah. 49ers are rolling. I'd love to see them lose, but especially a division game like this, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Now, at home, the way they are looking, they are on a fucking roll. And yeah. Bills, Chiefs. Wait, what? Didn't they play each other already this year? Or am I tripping?
The Bills and Chiefs? No, I don't think so.
I thought they did. Well, what? I'm thinking of the Bills Bengals, the hoopla over the DeMar Hamlin thing is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
Bills coming off a bye.
And a really weird season.
At home.
Chiefs coming off a loss.
Yeah, I can't see the Chiefs dropping 2 in a row here.
Not at Arrowhead. I don't.
Yeah, especially at home.
Yep. But I would like to see a spark from Buffalo that has been lacking.
Yeah, show me
I'm
something.
I'm
Yep,
hoping
show me
that bye
something.
game, that bye week that McDermott and coaching staff, lit a fire under their ass, or the players lit a fire underneath the coach's ass. Whatever needs to happen. I need to see some
Pretty
spark
sure
out of
Von Miller
Buffalo.
won't be playing.
Well, he might be playing with himself.
Yeah. Broncos Chargers. Is this the game that Brandon Staley gets fired?
Maybe.
I don't know about that, but I think this is going to add fuel to the fire. Give me the Broncos to bounce back here.
Yep, I'm picking Denver in this one for sure.
Then the big one, Sunday night game of the week. Oh, we have another Monday doubleheader. Sunday night doubleheader, Eagles at Dallas. And I think the Eagles are going to bounce back and put on a better performance. However, Cowboys are just on a fucking roll at home.
For putting up over 30 points a game.
I don't like saying it, but I think the Cowboys are going to get this win and make that division race real interesting.
Atta boy, write it down. Take a screenshot. Put this clip on a DVD. Put it on the mantle. Holy shit. It's not the first time you picked Dallas, but this is the one I would have swore you took the Eagles because the Eagles are a better team. On paper, on film, they are. They really are.
Don't talk me out of it.
Dallas is going to win anyway. But the Steelers have had a lot of games in a short amount of time. Last week was a tough one. They were beat up, wore out. Defense was on the field a long time.
Yeah, I think they're a little too banged up. Again, I think they're going to put on a better showing. But yeah, I think the Cowboys.
It's going to be tight. It's going to come down to the wire. Dallas is going to suck in the first half. It's going to look bad, or at least not so promising. But it's going to be one of them. 4 minutes to go, down by 5, down by 8, something like that. On either side, someone.
Yeah.
And it's some miracles are going to happen, but I'm for sure going with Dallas. Oh man, be a shootout. I hope it's a good game.
Monday night doubleheader, Titans, Dolphins kicking it off. Dolphins are favored by 13, and they'll probably cover. Give me the Dolphins.
Yeah, they're going to cover for sure. A-Chain's back, or A-Chan. And he did A-Chan things for fantasy again. I liked it.
And then, oddly, kicking off at the exact same time, we have the Packers and the Giants.
Yeah.
I believe I read Tyrod Taylor's been named the starter.
No, I think he was upset Tyrod that DeVito was.
Oh, DeVito is still he has played well the last couple of weeks. That being said, Jordan Love's kind of finding his fucking stride right now, so I'm going to take the Pack.
Yeah, I'm one of the Packers here too. Like you said earlier, they just look like they're coming into their own. DeVito named starting quarterback for the Giants. Doesn't matter. I mean, I like the kid. He's from Illinois. But the Packers are putting it all together. They're doing everything right. They're finding a way to win games. And the Giants suck.
What are you doing tomorrow night?
Me?
Yeah.
I work till 6.
Do you want to hop in for a watch along?
Ooh, yeah. Might be able to do that.
Talk to the boss. Let me know. I might. I mean, it's going to be comically bad. So.
Right, and I mean, I don't know. It might not be that bad. We might be hyping it up too much.
You can experience the pain in real time.
But see, well, and it doesn't pain me. I mean, I would like to say as friends
Okay,
that it pains me to
witness.
see you in pain, but
You
it
will
don't.
witness the pain first, but it don't. I'd like to say it, but I
I mean,
can't.
I can't. I mean, I'm fucking honest with you, man. I'll probably laugh so hard that I can't watch all of it. I'll
All
be in
right.
tears. I'll be on oxygen. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, I think I'll maybe set that up.
Tommy damn Vito, fucking right.
We're getting another weather delay. God, I
I
hope
don't
not.
know.
Appreciate you sticking with me as long as you did that day too. That sucked. But Jake was here for a good part of that little watch along shit show. And I was trying to stick it out, but then that second weather delay hit, and I knew it was going to be at least another 30 to 40 minutes. So I'm like,
Right.
nah. It was one thing when it was at halftime because you've already got 15 minutes built in. But when they stopped it midway through the third, I believe the league rule is at least 30 minutes, and then they have to have 7 or 10 minute warm up. And I was like, yeah. And the way that we were playing, Kenny was out. I was like, sorry, folks,
Yeah.
I'm done. Just can't do it. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Well, a little recap. We split the first two games of the day of the week, the Thursday and the first noon game. You took the Steelers. I'm taking the Patriots. You took the Falcons at home against the Buccaneers, and I'm going to ride this Buccaneer boat until it falls off the end of the world. But then we all got the Lions, the Colts, the Browns, the Panthers, Texans, Ravens, Vikings, Niners, Chiefs, Broncos, them Cowboys, the Finns, and the Packers.
Right on.
I can only gain 2
Well,
on you this week.
good luck to you, sir.
You too. I hope we win the majority of
Yeah,
our
we
picks.
fucking need it. Yep. So,
Yeah, I mean
all right.
the
Well,
playoffs are getting interesting, like they always are. These last few weeks are always exciting.
yeah, we're
And
gonna start seeing. Well, at least you think anyway, some separation. But
yep,
the way
Dallas
this season's
is a
gone, who
5
knows?
seed right now. They are the 5th with a 9-3 record, right behind the Atlanta Falcons in number 4 spot at 6-6, which is terrible.
If Dallas wins that game, who do they currently have the tiebreaker? No, wait.
So Philly beat them
Let's see.
once already.
They'll have the better division record. They'll be 4-1, and Philly will be 3-1. So
Right.
they could come out of this week as the 2 seed.
Correct.
They can't have the 1 because they got their ass beat by San Francisco.
But they'll be first in their
They
division.
can go. Yeah, they can go from 5 to 2.
Right. And and the Steelers and our Cowboys. So both of us got the number 5 team in our respective divisions right now. So
Yeah. Only difference is one of our teams could actually win a playoff game.
sure. I mean, the Steelers have a chance. You're right. Because Dallas doesn't win playoff games.
Mike Tomlin does have a
practice.
very, very good record in prime time. We have a very good record when we wear alternates. We're wearing all black. Best uniform in the NFL, bar none, is Pittsburgh all black. That is so fucking tough looking. Yes, it is. I don't give a fuck what you or anybody else says.
Any uniform for any team with yellow on it is atrocious.
No, the black and yellow looks, when it's black pants, it looks fucking amazing.
No, yellow is. I
block
hate
letters.
yellow. No, yellow. Now
yellow,
if they blacked it out,
gold.
if they went yellow and or black and gray, like a Raiders type thing,
they're known as the black and gold. They can't.
Well, sure, no, I get it, but they're color rush uniforms. If they took the yellow out, which they never will, because that's their black and gold. I get it, but I just don't like the yellow. I don't like the yellow. The uniforms I like
But
is
the color rush that they're wearing with are black pants with
sure.
just the yellow stripe.
Yep.
They look fucking tough.
They look all right, but I don't think it's the best in the NFL.
Yes, it is.
No.
Well, I can't force you to be right. So
No. I like the
best
Bengals whites. The Bengals white, those whites are really nice. I do. The
yeah,
Cardinals
those are
black and
clean. As much
red.
as I hate to admit it.
The Falcons blacks. They're
So
good. Yep.
yeah. So all right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up, folks, and barring unforeseen circumstances, we're gonna try and get on here and experience this shit show with everybody live for Thursday Night Football tomorrow.
Yes. Yes. And be safe.
I'll be here until
we have some weather
Mitch
coming
throws
this
his fourth
weekend.
interception at least.
So it'd be fun. Yeah, if I get,
Y-
I don't think
You
anything's
are
going on. So.
you are completely frozen, and I hear half a word every like 5 seconds.
Well, that's weird because I can hear you and see you just fine.
Oh, the bumblebee were. I hated them at first, but they did grow on me.
Am I still dead?
Oh, there you are. No, now you're back.
Just now can't. Well, that's weird.
Yeah. Tell your wife to turn the porn off. You're almost done.
It's probably my son.
Well,
I mean, let's be honest. He's almost 11.
yeah, it's getting to be about that time. So, all right. Well, if you watched this far, thanks for sticking around. Like I said, we'll be on here. At least I'll be on here. Hopefully, both of us
Yep.
for
Yeah,
kickoff. And
I'll be on. Maybe not the whole game, but I'll be here. I'll be here. I'll see you all tomorrow.
yeah, you'll have the link, so you can pop in and out whenever. And
Yep.
hell, I might just throw the link out there if anybody else wants to fucking hop in here and experience
There you go.
the shit show that could set offenses back for decades. So, thanks for watching, folks. We will catch you next time.
Maybe we'll have a shot for every incompletion.
Yeah. I don't want alcohol poisoning.
I don't either. I got to work Friday.
Right. All right, folks. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
See ya.